My beloved child, something in the unseen has already shifted around you, and this is not a small shift. On December 8th, in the heavenly courts where nothing is hidden, a truth about someone close to you surfaced like a sealed scroll suddenly opened. And Archangel Michael has been stirred, not by accident, but because this revelation concerns your safety, your heart, and your destiny. He stands at the gate of your life right now, sword drawn, waiting for you to understand what heaven saw before you ever felt the first tremor. Listen closely. What was exposed in the courts of heaven was not an ordinary detail. It was a pattern, a secret intention, a shadow someone tried to keep behind their smile, their words, their promises. Someone you trust has been carrying a hidden motive, and heaven could no longer remain silent about it. God himself allowed their truth to be revealed because their next step, if you remain unaware, could hurt you more deeply than you can imagine. But there is a reason this message reached you. Archangel Michael has moved through layers of spiritual resistance just to get this warning to your spirit. He has been guarding you from attacks you never saw, from conversations spoken behind your back, from seeds of betrayal being planted in rooms you never entered. But on December 8th, something shifted. A final piece of evidence was brought before the heavenly council, and the verdict was clear. You must be awakened before their next action reaches you. Feel this carefully. The person involved isn't always the one who looks suspicious. Sometimes the danger comes from familiarity. Someone who has been close enough to understand your emotions, patterns, habits, weaknesses, and strengths. Heaven doesn't expose lightly. God only reveals when a soul he loves is at risk, and that soul right now is you. And there is something urgent about the timing. This message didn't reach you by coincidence. It reached you because the danger is not months away, it is closer than you think. Their next decision, their next conversation, their next move carries the weight to shift your path painfully if you remain unaware. But hear me, you are not unprotected. Archangel Michael has already stepped forward. His wings are covering the places you cannot see. His sword is pointing toward the source of this hidden scheme. He is not bringing fear. He is bringing revelation. But revelation must be received. If you delay, the enemy uses delay as an open door. But if you listen now, heaven will redirect the plan, dismantle the intent, and expose the heart behind the mask before it reaches you. God is not warning you to terrify you. He is alerting you because your future is too valuable, your anointing too costly, and your spirit too precious to be pierced by someone who does not carry the same purity toward you. There is something else. You may have already felt a shift, a heaviness in your spirit, a strange distance, an intuition that didn't make sense. That was not your imagination. That was Archangel Michael pressing gently on your heart, urging you to pay attention. Heaven always whispers before it warns, and when the whisper is ignored, heaven sends a stronger signal, and that signal is this message. And understand this clearly: the hidden truth exposed on December 8th is not meant to break you. It is meant to free you. It is meant to uncover the invisible chain you didn't know you were tied to. The person involved may not even fully realize the spiritual impact of their intention, but God does. And because you are chosen, protected, and watched over, He is stepping between you and what could have caused unnecessary pain. Right now, as you hear these words, Archangel Michael stands firm beside you. You are not listening alone. You are not processing alone. There are angels around you, guiding your discernment, sharpening your awareness, lifting the fog from your understanding. Something new will unfold in the coming days. A clue, a slip of words, a sudden revelation. And when it happens, you will remember this message and know heaven was preparing you. Stay close. This unfolding truth is just beginning, and what comes next will give you clarity you have been waiting for. Before you scroll, breathe, because the next part of this message carries a key that will help you understand who this person is, why heaven intervened, and what your spirit must do next. Type "I receive the revelation" in the comments if this is speaking to your spirit. Lesson code 144 is now activated. Hold on, what comes after this will open your eyes in a way you were not expecting. My treasured soul, there is a reason your spirit feels stirred right now, almost as if something deep inside you is rising to the surface. That is not anxiety, that is divine alignment. When heaven reveals a truth in the courts, your inner spirit begins to sense the echo of that revelation even before your mind understands it. And Archangel Michael has been very intentional about that stirring, because what was exposed on December 8th carries weight, and the unfolding of that truth is already in motion around you. Let me take you deeper. The hidden truth about this person did not appear in the heavenly court suddenly. It built over time, through whispers of intention, through unspoken thoughts, through decisions they made in quiet moments when they assumed no one would ever know. But heaven knows. Heaven always knows what the heart really carries. And when someone operates close to you with a spirit that is not aligned to protect or honor your destiny, an imbalance begins to form in the spiritual realm. That imbalance is what triggered the revelation. Listen closely. Child of light, Archangel Michael was not summoned because of danger alone. He was summoned because of purpose. Your purpose, your path, your calling. Someone close to you had been walking with you physically, but not spiritually. Their outward support had not matched their inward posture. There has been a duality, one face shown publicly, another hidden privately. And that private face, that internal posture, is the one heaven could no longer allow near your anointing without exposing it. This is not a message of fear. This is a message of clarity. For months, maybe even longer, you have felt something inconsistent about this person. A sense that their words were warm, but their energy felt drained. A sense that their intentions were supportive, yet your spirit felt unsettled after speaking with them. Those subtle signs were the early warnings of heaven. But because your heart is pure, you chose patience, love, and understanding. All beautiful traits, but traits that can sometimes blind you to spiritual misalignment. Archangel Michael has stepped in because God doesn't want your purity to become your vulnerability. He wants it to become your strength. Now feel the shift. What surfaced on December 8th was not just their intention. It was the spiritual attachment influencing their intention. Something has been whispering to them, pushing them, bending them toward a choice that could damage you emotionally, relationally, or spiritually. They may not fully understand the weight of what they are about to do, but heaven does. And so the heavenly courts revealed it, documented it, and released the alert through Archangel Michael. There is something else you need to understand. You were never meant to find this message by accident. Heaven placed it in your path because a crucial moment is approaching. A conversation, a decision, a reaction, a shift in the atmosphere between you and this person. Their next move could open a door to unnecessary pain, unless you spiritually prepare yourself now. This preparation is not about confrontation. It is about awareness. It is about discernment. It is about standing beside Archangel Michael with your spirit awakened, not asleep. And here's where it becomes even more important. Archangel Michael is not only defending you, he is rearranging the spiritual environment around you. He is pushing back the fog that made you doubt your intuition. He is removing the veil that kept you confused about why this person's presence sometimes felt heavy. He is guiding your heart toward a deeper understanding, one that will empower you, not burden you. You may notice small changes in the coming days, a sudden shift in their tone, a strange distance, a slip of truth they didn't intend to reveal, a moment where their mask wavers. These are not random. These are divine hints, strategic openings created by heaven to show you what the courts have already seen. Your role is simply to stay awake, stay alert, and stay connected to this message as it unfolds. There is a moment approaching where everything will make sense. Not in confusion, but in clarity. Not in hurt, but in empowerment. Archangel Michael is guiding you toward that moment with precision. He is preparing your spirit so that when the truth finally rises to the surface around you, you will not be shocked. You will be ready. Before you move, pause, because the next part of this message will go even deeper into the identity of the person heaven is exposing and the divine strategy being released to protect your spirit. This next layer will not only open your eyes, it will strengthen your heart. Type "I walk in divine discernment" in the comments if this is speaking to you. Blessing code 333 is now activated. Hold steady. The revelation that follows will connect dots you didn't even know were related. I awaken spirit bearer. What you are feeling right now is not confusion. It is the alignment of heaven pulling your heart into truth. When the heavenly courts reveal something as serious as what surfaced on December 8th, the atmosphere around your life begins to shift. You may have already sensed it. Conversations feel different. Certain faces feel heavier. Silence feels louder. And your intuition feels sharper than usual. This is not coincidence. This is Archangel Michael adjusting your spiritual frequency so you can recognize what your natural eyes could never detect on their own. There is something you must understand with clarity. The person heaven is exposing is not just someone random. They are someone close enough to influence your emotions, close enough to whisper into your confidence, close enough to affect the direction of your decisions. They have access, and that access is exactly why heaven stepped in. God does not reveal the secrets of a distant stranger. He reveals the danger that is within reach. And somewhere in your circle, someone's true intentions have begun to wander into a direction that could lead you into harm, heartbreak, or spiritual drain. But listen carefully, child of divine protection. Their actions do not become dangerous overnight. The shift in their heart happened in slow, quiet turns. A moment of jealousy here, a tiny seed of resentment there, a whisper of comparison, a hidden expectation, a disappointment they never voiced, a spiritual influence they did not resist. These small internal movements eventually form an intention heaven could not ignore. And that is why the courts of heaven released the truth on December 8th. The date matters. The timing matters. The exposure happened on that day because their next step was being prepared, almost finalized, and you needed to be awakened before their plan aligned with opportunity. But you are not helpless. You are not blindsided. You are not walking in darkness. Archangel Michael is standing guard over you with a warrior's vigilance, and his presence has already disrupted the full impact of what was forming behind your back. Let your heart receive this next part. The person involved has been feeling conflicted recently, torn between affection for you and a growing internal influence pulling them toward an action that would wound you. They may not intend to destroy you, but they are being influenced by insecurity, spiritual heaviness, or a hidden motive that has not been purified. Some people hurt, not because they wish to, but because they never confront what is hurting inside them. But heaven does not judge the confusion, heaven judges the impact. And the impact of their next action could cause a setback in your spirit that was never meant for you. This is why Archangel Michael has been orbiting close around you. He is whispering into your intuition. He is pressing on your awareness. He is guiding your emotional responses so you don't step into the wrong moment with the wrong expectation. You may find yourself feeling more alert around certain people. You may notice distance forming where there used to be closeness. You may sense caution where there used to be comfort. Do not ignore these shifts. These are not mood swings. These are angelic signals. Now hear this with authority. There is something about to happen that will make the truth clearer. A sudden change in someone's tone. An unexpected reaction. A conversation that feels off. A moment when the person in question shows a glimpse of what heaven already exposed. You may even overhear something or notice something small that reveals something big. When it happens, your spirit will recognize it instantly. But before that moment arrives, heaven wants to strengthen your heart so you do not react emotionally, but spiritually. Emotional reactions open doors. Spiritual awareness closes them. That is why Archangel Michael is realigning your discernment now, not later. You will not be caught in the storm. You will rise above it. Stay with me, child of revelation. This unfolding is part of your protection. Heaven is not exposing this person to destroy them. Heaven is exposing this so you do not lose your peace, your focus, or your divine momentum. Your destiny requires clean connections. Your future requires loyal people. Your anointing requires alignment. And anything that does not hold that purity cannot stay hidden near you. Before you go further, pause and breathe, because the next revelation will go deeper into how this situation will unfold, the signs you will see, and how Archangel Michael is preparing a divine shield around your emotions. You will want to stay with this, because what comes next will answer questions you have carried silently for far too long. If this message is stirring your spirit, type "I am covered by heaven" in the comments. Blessing code 1212 has been released. Before you move forward, help spread this message so more souls receive their warning in time. Like this video, share it with someone you care about, comment to stay connected, and make sure you subscribe so you never miss what heaven is releasing next. Now let your heart receive this final transition. Just as this message warns you about hidden intentions, remember that countless souls around the world are walking blindly into spiritual traps with no guidance, no revelation, and no clarity. God is raising this platform as a beacon of light, a digital altar where hearts can be awakened before harm reaches them. When you sow into this mission, you are not giving to a channel. You are placing oil on the fire that rescues souls from deception. And the Lord says, "Those who refresh others, I myself will refresh." I feel this strongly. Your support becomes a shield for someone else who desperately needs a message like this. If your heart feels stirred, this is your moment of obedience. Support through super thanks, channel membership, or the PayPal link in the description. And may the God of open heavens multiply your seed with divine protection. Step into this blessing now, not tomorrow. My cherished soul, right now, heaven is drawing you deeper into understanding, because the truth revealed on December 8th was only the beginning of what is unfolding. There is a shift happening around you that you may not fully see, but your spirit has already begun to sense. It feels like a quiet tension in the atmosphere, a subtle awareness that something beneath the surface of your relationships is moving. This is not paranoia. This is not imagination. This is Archangel Michael adjusting the spiritual environment around you so that nothing hidden can surprise you anymore. Let me take you closer to what heaven is showing. The person whose truth surfaced in the heavenly courts is not acting from a single moment of weakness. Their actions are the result of a deeper spiritual pull they have not confronted. They have been wrestling with their own shadows, their own insecurities, their own unspoken desires, and instead of rising above those battles, they have allowed something to influence them in a direction that could harm you. They may not be evil, but they are spiritually misaligned. And misalignment from someone close to you is more dangerous than intentional harm from someone distant. Understand this, child of divine wisdom. What heaven revealed was not just what they intend to do, but why. Their heart has been shifting, not because of what you did, but because of what they refused to deal with inside themselves. This is why you may have noticed moments where their energy felt unpredictable. One day they seem caring, the next they seem cold. One moment they speak with warmth, the next they feel distant. Their inconsistency is the result of an internal storm they never brought to God. And storms that are ignored eventually spill over onto those closest. This is why Archangel Michael has stepped so close to you. His wings are creating a barrier, a spiritual border around your emotions so that their instability does not shake your spirit. He is standing between you and the storm that is building inside them. Every time you felt strangely tired around this person, every time you sensed an unexplained heaviness, every time your spirit felt drained after speaking with them, that was Michael shielding you from the full weight of what they were carrying. And now, heaven wants to take you into a deeper level of clarity. The hidden truth exposed on December 8th was not simply about what happened in their heart, but about what is coming next. Their next action has the potential to wound you, confuse you, or shake your peace in a way that would delay the next season God is preparing for you. This is why your discernment must rise. This is why heaven sent a warning. And this is why this message found you at the exact moment it did. But hear this carefully: you are not meant to confront them. You are not meant to accuse them. You are not meant to expose them. Heaven has already done the exposure. All you must do is stay spiritually aware so you do not walk blindly into a moment that was never meant for you. Archangel Michael is guiding the timing of everything. He is moving invisibly, adjusting conversations, shifting atmospheres, preventing certain interactions, delaying certain meetings, and even creating physical distance when necessary. If someone begins to pull away from you during this time, do not chase them. Heaven may be protecting you by allowing the distance to form naturally. Some connections are withdrawn for your safety before you understand why. Something else is happening too. Your intuition is being sharpened. You may find yourself suddenly noticing details you once overlooked. You may feel your spirit becoming more sensitive to certain words or reactions. You may catch a tone, a glance, or an energy that gives you a deeper understanding of someone's true heart. This sensitivity is not random. This is Michael activating the spiritual radar within you so you can see beyond surface appearances. But here is where it becomes even more powerful. God is not exposing this person to break your heart. He is exposing them to protect your destiny. You have a calling that requires clarity, loyalty, purity of connection, and strength of spirit. Anyone whose heart carries confusion, jealousy, or hidden intentions cannot walk with you into your next season. Heaven is cleansing your circle before your blessing arrives. What feels like loss will actually be protection. What feels like disappointment will actually be deliverance. Now listen very closely, because this is important in the days ahead. Heaven will allow a moment where the truth becomes undeniable. It will not be dramatic. It will not be explosive. It will be subtle, but unmistakable, a small moment that reveals everything. A slip of honesty, a shift in behavior, a sudden distance, or an unexpected reaction. When it happens, your spirit will instantly recognize the confirmation. You will feel it in your chest, in your intuition, in your knowing. And when that moment comes, remember this message: you are not alone. You are not unprotected. You are not walking into this blindly. Archangel Michael is guarding every step you take. He is positioning you, preparing you, and protecting you from a wound that was never meant to touch your heart. Before you move, pause, because the next part of this unfolding revelation will show you exactly how heaven is planning to turn this situation in your favor, and how the divine shield around your life is being strengthened day by day. You will not want to miss what is coming, because it will make everything clearer. Type "I walk in heaven's protection" in the comments to receive this message. Blessing code 717 is now activated. Hold your spirit steady. What rises next will shift your understanding even more. My radiant soul, what you are sensing right now is not fear. It is the awakening of spiritual sight. When heaven reveals a hidden truth, especially one that concerns someone close to you, your inner world begins to adjust long before your outer world catches up. You may feel more aware, more observant, more sensitive to energies, more protective of your peace. This is not overthinking. This is divine preparation. Archangel Michael is tuning your spirit like a sacred instrument, sharpening your inner hearing so you can recognize every whisper heaven sends you in this season. Let your heart hear this: the truth that surfaced on December 8th was not just a revelation. It was a spiritual intervention. God stepped in because the path you were walking with someone was beginning to drift into territory that could have emotionally drained you, confused you, or misled you. Heaven does not reveal something unless it is necessary. And if the courts of heaven unveiled this person's hidden intention, it means the danger was approaching faster than you realized. But notice something: your spirit likely sensed the imbalance before your mind understood it. A strange distance, a shift in tone, a small discomfort that didn't match the moment, a feeling that something was off even when everything looked normal. These were early signals, Michael touching your intuition, encouraging you to pay attention. Heaven never blindsides its chosen ones. Heaven whispers, then warns, then protects. Now listen closely. The person heaven is exposing did not simply carry a single harmful thought. Their heart has been drifting in a direction that is not aligned with your calling. At some point, they allowed something: resentment, envy, insecurity, pride, or an external influence to form a quiet fracture within their relationship with you. They may still care for you on the surface, but beneath that care lies a tension they never addressed. An unaddressed tension becomes spiritual danger when left untreated. Understand this truth: you did nothing wrong. Your purity, your kindness, your sincerity did not cause this shift. Sometimes, your light exposes a struggle someone else has within themselves. Your growth cutters their resignation. Your peace highlights their internal chaos. Your blessings awaken their insecurities. But that is not your burden. It is their battle. Yet their battle was beginning to spill into your life, and heaven could not allow that. And this is where Archangel Michael moves with divine precision. He sees what you cannot. He hears the thoughts you do not hear. He watches the spiritual currents around every person connected to your destiny. And when a heart near you becomes a potential doorway for emotional pain or spiritual disruption, Michael steps in like a warrior guarding a sacred temple. His presence has already neutralized the worst of what could have happened. Feel this deeply: your spirit has been receiving protection from battles you never even knew were forming. Someone's words that could have cut you never reached you. Someone's action that could have disappointed you was delayed. Someone's hidden motive that could have shaken your confidence was exposed early. That is not luck. That is not coincidence. That is the divine shield surrounding your life. The shield Archangel Michael commands on your behalf. Now let me show you something important. The truth that surfaced in the heavenly courts revealed 3 things about this person: their intention, their internal struggle, and the influence pushing them. And what heaven saw was a moment approaching, a moment where their choice could impact you more than they even realize. This choice may come through a conversation, a decision, a reaction, or a withdrawal. But heaven has already stepped ahead of it, and your awareness is the final piece needed to keep you safe. Watch carefully in the coming days, not with suspicion, but with discernment. Their energy may shift. Their tone may reveal more than their words. Their eyes may reflect something they haven't spoken. Pay attention to patterns. Pay attention to timing. pay attention to how your spirit reacts when they enter the room or cross your mind. Your intuition will speak before anything else does. Trust it. That is Michael guiding you, not emotion misleading you. But here is the part that will bring you peace. This entire situation is being allowed for your elevation. Heaven is not exposing this to break a relationship. Heaven is exposing this to protect your calling. Anyone who cannot carry the purity and loyalty required for your next season cannot continue at the same proximity. God is clearing your path not out of punishment, but out of preparation. He is removing what could drain you so He can bring what will strengthen you. Even now, the divine rearrangement has begun. You may feel certain connections fading without conflict. You may notice distance growing without explanation. You may see someone becoming quieter, colder, or inconsistent. Let it happen. When heaven removes someone from your front row, it is because they can no longer handle the weight of your destiny. Michael is guiding these separations with care, ensuring that your heart remains protected while truth gently unfolds. And hear this final part clearly before the full revelation comes. There will be a moment, a single moment, where something inside you will click. A sudden knowing, a spiritual confirmation. You will not need proof. You will not need confrontation. You will simply know. Heaven will make it unmistakable. Before you move forward, pause, because what comes next will reveal what heaven is preparing for you, not just what it is protecting you from. And that revelation will shift everything. Type "My spirit is prepared" in the comments if this is speaking to your heart. Blessing code 1818 is now activated. Stay close, the next unfolding will open your eyes even wider. My beloved one, wrapped in divine light, there is a powerful stirring in the spiritual realm around you right now, and it is not your imagination. When heaven reveals a truth as serious as the one exposed on December 8th, the atmosphere of your life begins to shift in ways you can feel, even if you cannot yet explain. You may sense moments of unusual clarity, sudden discomfort, unexpected peace, or a quiet awareness rising within you. Your spirit is adjusting to a higher level of insight, because Archangel Michael is lifting the veil layer by layer, preparing you to recognize what heaven already sees. Let your heart open to this. The person whose truth was revealed in the heavenly courts has been carrying an internal divide for longer than you realized. On the outside, they have maintained an image of connection, loyalty, or support. But deep within, their intentions have been drifting into a place that could have wounded you, misled you, or caused emotional instability. This is why heaven stepped in. This is why the spiritual alert was released. God saw what you could not, and refused to let this hidden shift harm the purity of your heart. There is something deeper you must understand. Spiritual misalignment does not always show itself through loud behavior or obvious betrayal. Sometimes it appears quietly, through hesitation, through subtle resentment, through comparison, through envy, through unspoken disappointment. Sometimes the danger is not what a person does, but what they are slowly allowing inside themselves. Their silence can carry more danger than their words. Their smile can hide more conflict than their expressions show. And heaven examines the heart, not the image. This is why December 8th was such a significant moment. The heavenly courts do not reveal something unless the spiritual environment reaches a point where inaction becomes dangerous. What heaven saw was not only their intention, but the spiritual influence feeding that intention. A whisper pushing them toward a decision that could unintentionally cause you pain. And because your destiny carries weight, because your spirit carries responsibility, because your future carries authority, heaven refused to allow you to walk into a moment blind. Archangel Michael has been taking strategic action on your behalf. He has been adjusting timing so you don't cross paths with them at vulnerable moments. He had been creating delays when needed, silence when needed, distance when needed. He has been guarding your emotional atmosphere, shielding your heart from the full impact of their internal instability. And you may have already noticed it. Moments where conversations didn't happen, moments where connections suddenly felt off, moments where something inside you told you to pause, all orchestrated by heaven. Now lean into this truth: a person involved is not acting from pure malice. They are acting from an unhealed place inside themselves. Something they refuse to confront has grown into something heaven could not ignore. Their wound has become a doorway. Their insecurity has become a shadow. Their silence has become a breeding ground for misunderstanding. And silence in the heart of someone close to you can become more dangerous than the noise from an enemy far away. But you, child of divine purpose, are not meant to carry their weight. You are not meant to fix their internal struggle. You are not meant to absorb their emotional instability. Heaven is revealing this not so you take responsibility, but so you take awareness. Awareness protects your spirit. Awareness keeps your heart safe. Awareness closes the door to unnecessary pain. And here is something powerful to hold on to: the closer you get to your next season, the more heaven filters the people around you. God does not allow everyone who begins with you to continue with you. Some hearts are not equipped for your destiny. Some intentions cannot survive the altitude God is raising you to. Some relationships were seasonal, not eternal. And when a heart near you begins to shift in a direction that could sabotage your next chapter, heaven reveals it before it becomes a wound. This is exactly what is happening now. You are in a transition, a divine elevation, and the truth revealed on December 8th is part of your spiritual cleansing. God is protecting your momentum. He is protecting your peace. He is protecting your emotional clarity, because the next season of your life comes with new assignments, new connections, and new blessings that require a heart free from unnecessary heartbreak. Listen closely, because this next part is important. The coming days will bring a moment of confirmation. It may be small, but it will be unmistakable. A tone that reveals the truth. A reaction that exposes the heart. A moment where their mask slips, even if only for a second. And when it happens, your spirit will instantly recognize what heaven has been preparing you for. You will not feel fear. You will feel understanding. You will feel clarity. You will feel protected. And when that moment comes, do not react emotionally. Do not panic. Do not confront. Do not absorb their instability. Instead, stand in the strength Archangel Michael is giving you. Stand in discernment. Stand in calm authority. Stand in the knowing that heaven revealed this to shield you, not shake you. Your heart is being prepared. Your eyes are being opened. Your spirit is being strengthened. You are stepping into a position where nothing, absolutely nothing hidden, will catch you by surprise again. Before you move forward, hold still for a moment, because the next revelation will show you how heaven is not only protecting you, but preparing you for something greater that is already on its way. Type "My eyes are opened" in the comments if your spirit feels this. Lesson code 4040 is now activated. Stay close. What unfolds next will deepen your understanding even further. My chosen one, there is a sacred seriousness settling over your life in this moment. And it is because heaven is guiding you toward a truth that will not only protect you, but transform you. What was revealed on December 8th was not a random spiritual event. It was a moment God decided that your heart would no longer be touched by hidden intentions or silent betrayals. The heavenly courts do not speak unless destiny is at stake, and your destiny right now is entering a season that requires spiritual accuracy, emotional clarity, and powerful discernment. This is why Archangel Michael has been so close to you, closer than you have ever felt before. Let your spirit hear this: the person whose truth surfaced have been living in two versions of themselves. One version they show you, and another version they keep tucked away in the shadows of their private thoughts. The second version is what heaven exposed. It is the side of them that wrestles with insecurity, fear, pride, resentment, or unresolved emotions. The side that could unintentionally harm you. Not with loud actions, but with subtle ones. Not with obvious betrayal, but with quiet decisions. Not with harsh words, but with internal shifts. And it's often the quiet things that cause the deepest wounds. You were never meant to walk forward unaware. Heaven loves you too much for that. God saw the ripple effect this person's next action could have created. An emotional setback. A wave of confusion. A moment of heartbreak that would have lowered your spiritual vibration and slowed your divine momentum. God intervened because a divine destiny cannot be built on unstable foundations. And anyone whose heart is not aligned with yours cannot be allowed unrestricted access to your spirit. Now listen carefully, because this is important. You may have started noticing subtle changes in this person recently. Their energy doesn't match their words. Their actions seem inconsistent. Your presence feels different. Your silence carries something it never carried before. These are not coincidences. These are confirmations. Heaven reveals in the spirit before it reveals in the natural, and your intuition has been picking up on what your eyes have not yet seen. But here is where the deeper truth unfolds. The spiritual influence affecting this person is not entirely about you. They are battling something internally that they have not confronted. A voice that tells them they are insufficient, overlooked, misunderstood, or threatened. Instead of silencing that voice with healing, they have allowed it to shape their decisions. And heaven saw that their internal wounds were beginning to spill into your path. Even if they never meant to hurt you, their instability would have caused harm. This is why Archangel Michael stepped in. He is not just defending you. He is rerouting the spiritual current of your relationships. He is aligning the people who are meant to stay and repositioning the ones who are not. He is filtering your circle, reorganizing your connections, and revealing the truth behind every smile and every silence. His presence around you right now is not gentle. It is warrior-like. He is guarding you with urgency, because something powerful is coming for you in the next season, and heaven refuses to let you enter it surrounded by the wrong spirits. Feel this truth deeply. Your elevation is attracting attention, both divine and human. There are people who love you genuinely, and there are others who are drawn to your light but are not prepared to walk with you into higher realms. When the light increases, shadows become more visible. And God is allowing this exposure because He refuses to let you carry someone into your new season who cannot handle the weight of your calling. Now let me show you what is happening spiritually around you. Archangel Michael has been clearing the atmosphere. He had been confronting the unseen forces that were influencing this person's heart. He has been cutting off the energy that tried to attach itself to your emotional space. He has been strengthening your auric field, sharpening your discernment, and elevating your intuition. This is why you're feeling more aware than usual. This is why things that once felt normal now feel different. Heaven is shifting you into a higher state of spiritual awareness. In the coming days, you will notice something powerful, a moment that seems small but reveals everything. It could be their reaction to your success, their sudden silence when they used to speak often, their discomfort when you speak of blessings, their lack of enthusiasm when they should celebrate you, or even their over-friendliness, masking something deeper. When that moment appears, your spirit will feel the truth instantly. You will feel a drop in your heart, not of fear, but of recognition. You will say to yourself, "This is it. This is what heaven was preparing me for." And when that moment comes, do not panic. Do not confront. Do not seek explanation. Do not chase understanding. You are being guided, not abandoned. Michael is leading you, not leaving you. Heaven is revealing, not destroying. This is protection in motion. This is clarity wrapped in love. This is God saying, nothing hidden will touch you again. Something else is coming too, something beautiful. After the revelation settles, after the truth is seen, after the exposure becomes clear, a new alignment will enter your life. A new peace, a new strength, a new understanding of your worth. Heaven is not only cleansing your circle, heaven is preparing to send people who match your purity, your loyalty, your sincerity, your calling. People who will not drain you but uplift you. People who will not doubt you but support you. People who will not envy you but celebrate you. You are being prepared for divine replacement, divine restoration, divine alignment. And it all begins with knowing the truth that heaven revealed for your protection. Before you go further, breathe, because what unfolds next in this message will reveal why God allowed this exposure now, and how your life is about to enter a season that will shift everything. Type "I receive divine alignment" in the comments if your spirit feels this truth. Blessing code 5252 is now activated. Hold steady, the next layer will open you even more. My dearly protected soul, there is a reason your heart feels both heavy and awakened at the same time. Heaven is pulling back the final layers of what was exposed on December 8th, and your spirit is adjusting to the truth with divine precision. You may feel moments of deep clarity mixed with moments of quiet confusion, not because you are lost, but because your discernment is expanding. Archangel Michael is standing beside you with a level of alertness that only appears when someone chosen is stepping into a pivotal moment of destiny. He is guiding your emotions, strengthening your intuition, and preparing you to see something that will shift your understanding forever. Let your heart be still for a moment. The person whose truth surfaced in the heavenly courts has been wrestling with an internal conflict that they have hidden from everyone, including themselves. Their spirit has been torn between affection and insecurity, between loyalty and fear, between honesty and self-protection. This tension inside them has grown quietly, unnoticed by you, until it reached a point where their next action would have crossed a spiritual boundary heaven could not permit. The revelation on December 8th was heaven's way of saying, "This ends now. My child will not be wounded without warning." You must understand something very important. Not all danger comes from malicious intent. Sometimes danger comes from emotional instability, from loose boundaries, from someone acting out of their own wounds, from a person who does not know how to handle your light without feeling overshadowed by it. Your heart had been shifting because they have not healed a part of themselves that your presence unintentionally triggers. And instead of surrendering that wound to God, they allowed it to influence their perception of you. This is why you may have felt strange inconsistencies in them recently. Their smile felt forced. Their tone seemed slightly off. Their reactions didn't match the moment. Their presence felt heavier than usual. Heaven was already revealing the truth to you in small signs, preparing your spirit for this awakening. And Archangel Michael has been gently nudging your intuition, making sure you do not get blindsided by their next move. But here is the deeper truth. God is not exposing this person to punish them. He is exposing them to protect you. Your heart is too pure, too loving, too spiritually sensitive to be treated carelessly. You give deeply. You trust fully. You love sincerely. And heaven has seen your tears, your loyalty, your sacrifices, and your desire to live with a clean heart. You were never meant to be blindsided by the quiet shift happening inside someone close to you. Heaven loves you more than that. Now listen closely. In the next few days, a moment will unfold that will make everything clearer. A simple conversation, a sudden distance, a slip of truth, a reaction that reveals what they truly feel. You will see something that exposes what has been hidden. It will not be dramatic. It will not be loud. But it will be unmistakable. Your spirit will register it immediately, like a lock clicking open inside your chest. And in that exact moment, heaven will confirm to you that the revelation was real. Do not fear this confirmation. Do not run from it. Do not feel guilty for recognizing it. It is not your job to fix their hidden wounds. It is not your responsibility to carry their emotional instability. It is not your assignment to heal their internal conflict. Your only responsibility is to protect your peace, follow the guidance of heaven, and remain aligned with the path God has chosen for you. Archangel Michael is not only exposing, he's preparing. Preparing your mind to stay strong. Preparing your heart to stay calm. Preparing your spirit to stay unmoved. He is whispering clarity into your intuition so you do not misinterpret what is coming. He is ensuring you respond with wisdom, not emotional reaction. He is guarding your destiny with a seriousness that reflects the importance of this moment. And here is something beautiful heaven wants you to know after this exposure settles. Your life will open into a new chapter of peace, alignment, and divine companionship. New people are coming. People who will not be intimidated by your light. People whose hearts are pure. People who celebrate your blessings instead of competing with them. Heaven never removes without replacing. Heaven never reveals without restoring. Heaven never exposes without elevating. You are on the edge of a breakthrough, and this revelation is part of the cleansing before the blessing. Before you move on, pause, because the next unfolding will reveal how heaven will turn this painful truth into a powerful elevation, and how your spirit will rise stronger than ever. If your spirit is receiving this, type "I receive God's clarity" in the comments. Blessing code 6060 is now released. Before you continue, take a moment to help lift this message higher. Like this video, comment your confirmation, share it with someone who needs protection, and subscribe so you don't miss the next divine message heaven sends your way. Just as God is uncovering what is hidden around you, He is also using messages like this to awaken thousands of hearts walking blind into spiritual danger. When you support this mission, you become a vessel through which heaven reaches those who would otherwise suffer in silence. This is not support for a channel. This is sowing into a prophetic light that shields souls from deception. And the Lord says, those who scatter light will never walk in darkness. If you feel led, this is your moment. Stand with us by using Super Thanks, becoming a channel member, or giving through the PayPal link in the description. As you sow, may heaven open doors of protection, clarity, and breakthrough that no darkness can shut. Step into this act of obedience with faith. The blessing attached to it is already being released. My illuminated soul, you have reached a point in this divine unfolding where the atmosphere around you is shifting in ways your spirit can feel even before your mind fully grasps it. This is not coincidence. This is alignment. When heaven reveals a hidden truth, especially one that concerns someone close to you, the spiritual world begins rearranging itself to protect you from the impact of what was meant to reach you. And right now, Archangel Michael is moving with a level of intentionality that only appears when a chosen one is nearing a major turning point in their destiny. Let your heart settle for a moment. You may have felt an inner trembling lately, not fear, but anticipation. The feeling that something unseen is preparing to come into the light. The sense that something around you is shifting, even if you cannot quite explain what it is. That feeling is your spirit aligning with heaven's revelation. When the courts of heaven revealed the truth on December 8th, Your spirit was notified long before your conscious mind understood what was happening. You have been sensing the echo of that heavenly verdict for days, maybe weeks, without realizing its source. Now the veil is lifting more clearly. The person whose truth was exposed is nearing a point of decision. This is the moment heaven has been preparing you for. Their heart has been moving in a direction that could wound you if you are unprepared. Not because they truly desire to hurt you, but because their unhealed places are influencing their choices. A person who has not confronted their internal shadows becomes unpredictable. Their reactions become inconsistent. Their motives become cloudy. Their choices become emotionally unsafe. Heaven saw this internal instability rising, and that is why the revelation was released. You must hear this with clarity. Their next action is not about your worth. It is about their wound. Their hesitation toward you, their distance, their mood shifts, where their lack of clarity is not a reflection of your value. Heaven wants you to separate your identity from their instability. You are not the problem. You are not the cause. And you will not be the casualty of someone else's unresolved spiritual struggle. That is why the angels are surrounding you so intensely in this season. Archangel Michael stands beside you with a fierce protective presence. He has been influencing your spirit in ways you may not even realize. He has been calming your emotions so you do not react impulsively. He has been sharpening your intuition so you notice small shifts in energy. He has been prompting you to step back, to observe, to discern, to feel the atmosphere more deeply. Every moment of hesitation you have experienced toward this person recently was heaven whispering, "Pay attention. Let your soul absorb this truth before betrayal ever reaches a chosen one." Heaven sends a warning. Before disappointment forms, heaven sends discernment. Before a wound is delivered, heaven sends protection. The revelation you are receiving is not punishment, it is promotion. It is an elevation into a higher level of spiritual awareness. Your discernment is being trained for the next season of your life, where you will need sharper intuition, stronger emotional boundaries, and clearer spiritual vision. Now hear what is unfolding behind the scenes. Heaven has already intercepted the worst of what this person's next action could have created. The spiritual influence that was feeding their confusion has been confronted. The energy that tried to attach itself to your life has been cut off. The enemy's attempt to use their instability against your heart has already been dismantled. You are not entering this moment unprotected. You are entering it with angels surrounding you like a fortress. But heaven still wants you aware, so you do not fall into emotional entanglement. Awareness is your shield. Discernment is your armor. Clarity is your weapon. And Michael is sharpening all three around you. Watch closely. In the days ahead you will see something small that reveals something big. A conversation that exposes the truth. A shift in their tone that finally makes sense. A distance you can no longer ignore. A reaction that confirms what heaven already showed you. When that moment appears, your spirit will recognize the truth instantly, not with fear, but with calm certainty. And when you see it, remember this. Do not react emotionally. Do not confront out of impulse. Do not beg for honesty from someone who has not been honest with themselves. Do not chase clarity from someone who is confused internally. You are being led, not left. You are being protected, not abandoned. Your role is not to fix what is broken in them. Your role is to honor the guidance heaven is giving you. Now here is something even more powerful. Once this revelation settles, your spirit will begin to notice a new kind of peace, a peace that comes when God finally removes confusion from your path. You will begin to see why the exposure was necessary. You will understand why God allowed you to feel the subtle shifts. You will look back and realize that every strange moment, every tiny instinct, Every quiet warning was heaven preparing you. After this, your life will enter a new season of emotional clarity and relational purity. Genuine people will begin entering your life. People who carry truth, stability, loyalty, and spiritual alignment. Heaven is not just removing, heaven is replacing. And what is coming will feel like healing in human form. Before the next revelation unfolds, pause for a breath, because what comes next will show you how this divine exposure is becoming a bridge into your next season of breakthrough. Type "My spirit remains awake" in the comments if this part is speaking to you. Blessing code 9999 is now activated. Hold yourself steady, your clarity is increasing, and heaven is preparing you for the next unveiling. My sacred one, as you move deeper into this revelation, your spirit is beginning to stand taller, stronger, clearer. What once felt confusing now feels like alignment. What once felt heavy now feels purposeful. This is the effect of heaven unveiling the truth. Your soul begins to untangle itself from the emotional fog that once surrounded you. Ever since the hidden truth surfaced in the heavenly courts on December 8th, Archangel Michael has been preparing you for the moment when your spirit would finally rise above the illusion and see the deeper spiritual reality at work. And now, that moment is unfolded. Feel this in your heart. The person whose intentions heaven exposed is reaching a point of inner conflict they cannot hide much longer. Their emotions, their motives, their struggles, they are becoming too heavy for them to mask. Heaven is allowing the truth to rise, not to embarrass them, but to protect you. Their next decision, if left unchecked, could have tangled you in emotional chaos or spiritual confusion. And because you are chosen, because your heart carries divine purpose, heaven refused to let you walk into pain without warning. Listen carefully, beloved soul. You were carrying the weight of this connection long before you realized it. Every time you felt drained after interacting with them, every time you walked away feeling unsettled, every time your energy felt off for reasons you couldn't explain, your spirit was sensing the truth that your mind had not yet seen. You felt their inner conflict even when they hid it. You felt their shift even when they smiled. You felt their instability even when they acted normal. But you did blame them, and that is why heaven stepped in. Your compassion was becoming a doorway for emotional vulnerability, and God refused to let you be wounded by a heart that was no longer aligned with yours. Now hear the deeper truth. There is a spiritual reason why this exposure came at this exact moment. You are entering a divine window, a season where your destiny is accelerating, your voice is strengthening, your purpose is unfolding. With your elevation comes a heightened responsibility over your circle, your energy, and your emotional space. Heaven is removing anything that could distract you, drain you, or destabilize your spirit. That is why the revelation came now, not to break your heart, but to protect your future. Archangel Michael is standing guard over your next steps with extraordinary force. His presence is clearing the spiritual atmosphere around you, sealing every open doorway that could allow emotional confusion to slip in. He is strengthening your discernment, sharpening your intuition, and heightening your inner awareness. This is why you may be feeling more cautious, more observant, more selective about what you accept and who you allow into your space. It's not mistrust, it's protection. You are not becoming cold, you are becoming wise. Now prepare for this. The moment of clarity is approaching faster than you think. It will come unexpectedly, not through dramatic conflict, but through a small detail that reveals everything. A shift in their eyes, a hesitation in their voice, a reaction that exposes their heart, a behavior that contradicts their words. When you see it, your spirit will immediately recognize it as confirmation of everything heaven hath been revealing. And when that happens, you must remember this: your response determines your protection. Do not chase answers that God has already given. Do not seek clarity from someone who is not clear within themselves. Do not absorb emotional confusion that does not belong to you. Do not internalize their instability as your fault. You are being guided, not tested. You are being protected, not punished. Heaven is asking you to step into emotional authority, to trust the revelation, to stand in calmness, to walk in discernment, to protect your peace without apology. The moment you honor the warning, heaven will release something powerful into your life, a wave of peace you haven't felt in a long time. Your sleep will become deeper. Your clarity will become brighter. Your confidence will increase. The anxiety you once carried in silence will lift. This is the reward of obedience to revelation. And now, hear this final truth for this moment. Once the exposure becomes undeniable, God will bring new alignments into your life. People who match your sincerity, your purity, your loyalty, and your calling. People who carry no hidden intentions. People who speak truth without fear. People who celebrate you without envy. People who walk beside you, not behind you or against you. Heaven is purifying your circle because your next season requires pure hearts around you. Before you take the next step, breathe, because the revelation that follows will show you what heaven is preparing to bring you into, not just what heaven is protecting you from. And that shift will change everything. Type "I trust heaven's revealing" in the comments if this is speaking to your spirit. Blessing code 7777 is now activated. Stay close. What comes next will lift your spirit into a higher dimension of understanding. My rising soul, you are stepping into the most delicate phase of this revelation, and heaven is holding your spirit with extraordinary care. Every shift you have felt, every uneasiness that brushed against your heart, every moment of intuition that whispered "pay attention," all of it has been preparing you for what is now unfolding. When the truth surfaced in the heavenly courts on December 8th, it did not just expose someone's intention, it initiated a spiritual reordering around your life. And now, you are walking through the final stretch of that divine rearrangement. Let your heart hear this gently. The person connected to this revelation is entering a moment where their internal conflict is becoming too heavy for them to mask. Their energy can no longer hide what their heart has been wrestling with. Heaven is allowing their truth to rise because you have reached a level of spiritual maturity where you can finally see without breaking, understand without hurting, and let go without losing yourself. The entire journey has been God strengthening your spirit so that the revelation, when it arrives fully, becomes clarity, not chaos. You must understand something very sacred here. This revelation is not meant to destroy your connection with this person. It is meant to redefine it. Heaven does not expose to humiliate. Heaven exposes to purify. And right now, God is purifying the space around your destiny. There are places you are being prepared to step into soon, places where peace, alignment, and emotional stability will be crucial. And the presence of someone whose heart is battling against itself cannot accompany you into that realm. Archangel Michael has been working tirelessly around you. You may feel moments of sudden strength or unexpected calm. That is him. You may feel your heart detaching from the idea of depending on certain people. That is him. You may notice a growing desire to protect your space, your peace, your emotions. That is him. He is creating spiritual boundaries, invisible yet unbreakable, to ensure no hidden intention crosses into your next season. Now listen closely, because this is essential. The confirmation of everything heaven has shown you will come softly. Not as a dramatic revelation, not as a painful confrontation, but as a moment of unmistakable truth, a single gesture, a shift in behavior, a subtle reaction that your spirit will recognize instantly. And when it happens, it will feel like everything inside you aligns at once. The confusion will fade. The heaviness will lift. The unanswered questions will dissolve. And you will understand why heaven intervened so strongly on December 8th. This next part is important for your heart. When the truth becomes clear, you may feel a wave of sadness, not because you were deceived, but because you cared. Heaven sees that tenderness in you. Heaven honors that softness. But God is teaching you a higher wisdom. Not every heart that is close to you is capable of walking with you. And that truth, though painful at first, will become one of the greatest shields over your life. The person connected to this revelation is not your enemy, but they are not aligned with your next step. Their instability is not your burden. Your confusion is not your assignment. Their emotional shadows are not your responsibility to heal. God is simply repositioning them, so your spirit remains protected and elevated. Now feel this deeply soon. You will step into a moment of divine clarity so profound that it will feel like a light turning on in a dim room. You will see what you were not able to see before. You will recognize patterns you once overlooked. You will understand behaviors that used to confuse you. And in that moment, your heart will feel lighter, because the truth frees, even when it hurts. After that clarity settles, heaven will begin releasing new alignments, new strength, new peace, and new people who are capable of loving you with sincerity and stability. You will not feel alone. You will feel protected. You will not feel abandoned. You will feel realigned. You will not feel broken. You will feel chosen. Before you take a breath into the next revelation, hold this truth. What is being revealed now is clearing the path for what God is bringing next. The exposure is not the end. It is the beginning of your elevation. Type "I embrace heaven's truth" in the comments if your spirit is aligned with this message. Blessing code 1313 is now activated. Stay near. The next chapter will show you how God turns this exposure into your breakthrough. My victorious soul, you have walked through every layer of this revelation with courage, sensitivity, and spiritual openness. Now you are standing at the final threshold, the moment where heaven not only exposes what was hidden, but begins to lift you into the blessing that exposure was preparing you for. Ever since the truth surfaced in the heavenly courts on December 8th, your spirit has been on a journey of awakening. Every whisper of intuition, every moment of discomfort, every sudden clarity, all of it has been heaven guiding you gently toward this exact moment. Listen closely, child of divine purpose. The person whose heart was exposed before heaven was never allowed to succeed in harming you. Even before you understood what was forming, God had already blocked the impact. What they were preparing to do, what they were contemplating, what they were playing in their heart, heaven intercepted it. Archangel Michael went ahead of you, shielding your path, absorbing the blow before it could ever reach your heart. You were never unprotected. You were never alone. You were never walking blind. Now let your heart embrace this truth. The exposure was never meant to break you. It was meant to free you. Free you from emotional heaviness. Free you from silent confusion. Free you from spiritual entanglement. Free you from carrying someone who could not carry you in return. Their instability was never your assignment to fix. Their hidden intentions were never your burden to bear. Heaven has removed the danger, not because you are weak, but because you are important. Too important for your destiny to be delayed by someone else's internal chaos. What comes next is not loss, it is alignment. You are entering a new season of clarity, and God is bringing people into your life who match your spirit, your purity, your loyalty, and your calling. People who speak truth. People who walk with integrity. People who carry no hidden shadows in their intentions. These new connections will feel peaceful, supportive, uplifting, like fresh air after a storm. Heaven is replacing confusion with clarity, instability with certainty, emotional strain with emotional safety. And now, hear this prophetic truth: in the coming days, you will feel a release in your spirit. A weight will lift, a calm will settle, a knowing will rise. You will no longer question yourself. You will no longer doubt your intuition. You will no longer feel pulled into someone else's unresolved chaos. The revelation has done its work, and now heaven is shifting you into restoration. Archangel Michael stands beside you even now, sword lowered, stance relaxed, because the battle around this situation is over. The danger has been dismantled. The next attack has been disarmed. The emotional wound that was forming has been crushed before it could reach you. You are stepping out of this not bruised but strengthened, not confused but awakened, not broken but beautifully aligned with heaven's plan. What God is bringing next will make you understand why this exposure had to happen. The blessing heaven is preparing for you requires a clean circle, a steady heart, and strong discernment. Your next season will be one of restoration, acceleration, and supernatural elevation. And now that this hidden truth has been revealed, nothing stands in the way of what is coming. Receive this deeply: your destiny hath been cleared. Your spirit has been sharpened. Your heart hath been protected. Your path has been purified. Your steps are now aligned with heaven's direction. This is your moment of divine release. Before we close this journey, bless your own spirit with this act of faith. Type "I step into my divine season" in the comments. Blessing code 2024 is now released. Now, beloved, if this message has touched your heart, guided your spirit, or opened your eyes, support this mission so more souls like you can be protected by heaven's warnings. Like this video, share it with someone who needs clarity, comment your testimony, and subscribe so you never miss a message created to shield and strengthen you. As heaven has uncovered hidden intentions to protect your destiny, remember that this message is not just for you. It is a lifeline for thousands who are walking without guidance, without discernment, without awareness of the battles forming around them. When you support this mission, you become a carrier of divine warning and heavenly light. And the Lord says, "Those who sow into my work become vessels through which my protection flows." I feel this strongly. Your act of giving is not a donation. It is a prophetic seed that multiplies clarity and safety in the lives of others. If your spirit is stirred, respond now. Support through Super Thanks, join the channel membership, or use the PayPal link in the description. As you sow, may heaven open the windows above you and release protection, provision, and supernatural favor over every area of your life. Step into this act with boldness. God commands the blessing upon those who sustain His work,